my good folks? What's poppin', man? What's poppin', man? It's your boy Deshawn Radden. And I know some of y'all probably watching this video like, you, bruh? You doing YouTube, bruh? Like, huh? So let me go ahead and just give y'all a little rundown about why I'm starting YouTube, what this channel is gonna be about, the whole 9 yard, right? So I took a few notes, because you know I'm new to this. I'm finna be true to this, but right now I'm new to this, so I had to take a few notes, right? So why did I start YouTube? So when I was younger and I was like trying to forge this career path towards medicine, I would always go on YouTube and I would Google like getting into medical school or medical school experiences or black males in medicine, because you want to see people who look like you, right? So you can kind of relate those experiences that way. Because we don't, you know, I guess a lot of times take into consideration the impact that culture, you know, cultural sensitivity, competency, relatedness has in regards to why and how we practice medicine, right? So for me, I would always go on and I would find myself typing in like black male YouTubers or black males in medicine, black male doctors, whatever. And I would never get the results that I actually like wanted to see. And I started to think like, hold on, bro, like where we at? Like either we're not practicing medicine like that or we're just like not on these YouTube streets. Like what's going on? Like we need some representation. So I started to dig some information out of the boroughs, you feel me? And I found that black males are just very underrepresented in regards to practicing medicine, right? So I think we're the smallest demographic of practicing doctors. So then that's when it started to click. Like we're not on YouTube because we really just not out here like that. Like we just not practicing medicine for whatever reason. And so that's what really kind of intrigued me initially to wanting to get into medicine. And now that I'm in a spot where I can kind of give you guys some gems, some knowledge, some experiences about my time, I want to give you guys that experience because it's been a tumultuous journey, bro. And I feel like everybody out there, whether you're black, white, brown, whatever color you are, can use these experiences. But especially my black man, I want to be able to put a face to black men in medicine and be able to advocate for you all, because we can do it. Just because you don't see it all the time happening, that doesn't mean that we can't do it. So that's why I started YouTube. I want to be a face for black males who want to enter medicine. And honestly, I just felt like talking. So that's another reason why I started, you feel me? So why medicine for me? I started to get into medicine because for me, I had a lot of preventable diseases that were very close to home. My dad had diabetes. My grandpa had diabetes, hypertension. So these are diseases that can be, you know, hereditary or genetic to a degree, but for the most part, with the change in diet, education, access, and we'll talk about access, these are diseases that can be prevented, right? But a lot of the people in the lower income neighborhoods, like the ones that, you know, a lot of us grew up in, we don't have that level of education to know that maybe a cup of noodle isn't the best lunch for me to have today. Maybe I might increase my blood pressure. And if I'm doing that every day, that's not gonna be a good look. Maybe I shouldn't go to Little Caesars every night because I'm too tired to cook. And we get all of those different elements that come into play, like you're working late, you're trying to pay bills, so you don't have as much time to care about your nutrition. But I think that we should kind of look at the ramifications of that 10, 12 years down the line when our kids have obesity, when our kids have hypertension, they're pre-diabetic, and these are diseases that we could have prevented. So for me, when I seen that it was something very prevalent in my community, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, it really kind of piqued my interest to want to get involved. I feel like there's a lot of systems in America that need change: criminal justice system, medical system, or the healthcare system, education system. All those systems kind of need reform in my opinion. But I knew I probably couldn't do all of them, so I had to really sit back and think about which one hit the closest to home, which one did I really find the most interesting, and I came up with pursuing medicine. So that's why I'm pursuing medicine. I want to help the kind of close the disparity gap in certain regions, in certain communities, because there are disorders and diseases that can be prevented easily. But we just have to have that awareness and that education. So I'm hoping that by me practicing medicine, I can bring that to those communities. And then the last question, why is it important for me to be on here, and what field of medicine am I currently projecting towards, right? So for me, medicine is a little bit different depending on which school you decide to enroll in. For me, I decided to go into a podiatric medical school, which is why I got a foot on this wall right here, you feel me? I know some of y'all is probably looking like, bro, why you got a foot above your head? Like, come on, bro, is this like symbolic or something? It is symbolic. I'm in school for podiatry. And what podiatry is, I know a lot of you guys probably haven't heard of it, but it's the practice of the knowing and mastering the lower extremity and treating disorders that are in regards to lower extremity. So that just means basically from the pelvis down. Depending on what state you live in, the scope of practice can be a little bit different. We do a lot of like ankle reconstructive surgeries. We work heavily with the diabetic population because of that lack of blood flow in the lower extremity. That usually appears first, or sensory deficits in the lower extremity that usually appear first. That can kind of clue professional into somebody being pre-diabetic or having some sensory loss, which is neuropathy, which is a component of diabetes, right? So we work a lot with the community that I really wanted to help impact. So it was like podiatry is check on that. We work a lot with sports medicine patients, and I used to play sports for 10 years of my life, so check on that. So if you haven't heard of podiatry, tune into this channel, man. I'm going to be talking about the field of podiatry, and if you are in undergrad right now or even in high school and you have a pre-health advisor, ask them about podiatry, ask her about podiatry, and see if they can give you some more insight as well while these videos are kind of being churned out. But I think a lot of y'all would really love podiatry, so definitely look into it. But why is this channel important? This channel is important because, like I said earlier, I want my black males to know that there are faces out here. I go to Barry University, and we have probably the most diverse class between both fourth years, third years, second years, first years. We're diverse out this way, you know what I mean? So I want to be able to put a face out there so you guys know that this diversity is occurring across the world. I don't know what other medical schools is looking like, but I know Barry, we lit in the diversity department, right? So I wanted to be able to put a face to it, put some experiences to it, put some flavor to it, some swag to it. I'm not by any means a super genius at all. I grew up in a lot of similar circumstances as a lot of people who grew up in lower income communities with lower income, education system, subpar education system. So I get the struggle, and I get the dauntingness of, can we do medicine? It seems so long, 8 plus years, you know what I'm saying? And bro, you can't. Period. And that's why I'm here on this YouTube. That's why this is important for me to be able to relay that message that you can do it, bro. So a little bit inspirational. A little bit inspirational. I know some of y'all probably are excited to hear some of my thoughts, some of my insights. So that will be coming very, very shortly. This channel is not going to always be about medicine. That's another key component for me that kept me kind of in the field this long and not tiring out. Is when you're in that pursuit to the degree to become a doctor. I think that's kind of what we always focus on all the time, and I've done a very good job of trying to be well-rounded, maybe sometimes a little bit too well-rounded, to the point where I'm able to balance studies and other things. So on this channel, I'll be talking about some other interests, whether it is, you know what I'm saying, mental health, whether it is television. I like reality TV, like who would have thought it, right? Whether it is sport, like whatever it is, music. I'll be talking about that stuff on this channel, story times, random stuff, because I want to show y'all that there's a whole person behind the person that is pursuing medicine. You can have other interests, you can have other hobbies, you can have other experiences as well, and still get after it. We're whole people, we can do it, bro. We can do it, period. So that's gonna be the end of this video. Every video is gonna be around this length, so expect this every single time. And come visit me back on my blue wall, man. What's up, Doc? That's you, that's me, that's all of us. Let me know what's going on. If y'all have questions, drop them in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And peace and blessings, bro. I will see y'all next time.